Assalamu alaikum students. So today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is the quality control of suppositories, means the tests that are performed for checking the quality of suppositories. So these are the contents for today's lecture. So the quality control tests of suppositories include physical tests. Basically one of them is the appearance of the suppository, uniformity of the weight, liquefaction or softening time test, melting range test, fragility or breaking test, disintegration test. So the chemical testing procedures include dissolution test and the assay of active ingredients. These are the chemical testing process for the quality control of suppositories. So the first test that we are going to discuss is the physical analysis or analysis of the appearance, or we can say appearance test for the suppositories. These include shape, color, surface condition, and odor. So these are the things that are being observed, checked, or verified for the performing the appearance test or the physical analysis test for the suppositories. So for this physical analysis or your appearance test, basically first thing we are going to check is the visual examination. So in that visual examination, basically we are checking the color, shape, and surface characteristics are the properties of the suppository that are obviously very easy to assess. So what type of the color and the shape or the surface characteristics are there? So that thing we are going to confirm by this test. So basically we are checking the uniformity in the shape, color and the surface characteristics. So in this test we are checking any sort of variation available, or we are going to check whether there is consistency or the uniformity in these parameters are available or not. So the during analysis of surface characteristics, it's important to check for the absence of fissuring, pitting, fat blooming, exudation, sedimentation, and migration of the active ingredients. So these are the things that should not appear in the suppository, because they may affect the appearance and direct impact on the observer or the client that the product was not manufactured as per standard one, so it is not a good quality product. So your suppository that is being manufactured by your company should be free from these qualities, these bad qualities like fissuring, any sort of the shallow depressions or any sort of the long cracks. So it should be very smooth one. Similarly, there shouldn't be any pitting. Pitted surface shouldn't be available, that may be occurring due to the some of the portion that was stuck towards the mold, and that's why your suppository become non-smooth and having a pitted surface. So again, it is not a good sign of a good quality product. So second we have is the fat blooming. Whatever the fat bases are the fatty material that is being used, so there are the chances that that fat moves towards the surface of the uh, suppository and forming a grayish white film over the surface. So there are no any chance that they are going to affect the medicinal properties, but again the appearance become very unacceptable. So any suppository that is having the grayish white film over the surface again is not showing the good quality suppository. So you have to be careful about that. Okay, your suppository shouldn't having the whitish gray or grayish white film over the surface. That is the basically fat blooming in your suppository. Second is your exudation. So some sort of or some part of your suppository may not be solidified, and some of the liquid if it is remained. So if you are observing your suppository for physical analysis for the appearance, so there are chances that that fluid is oozing out from the solidified suppository. So again you have to be careful. Okay, your suppository should not show any sort of exudation. And also, if your product is not mixed properly, your product is not dissolved or uniformly distributed properly, there are chances that sedimentation may also occur, and again, these sedimentation and these things may cause migration of your active ingredient as well. That may be showing that active ingredient is deposited in one site, and that may create some sort of effect upon the medicinal properties. So therefore these are the things that you have to make sure that are not available while you are manufacturing good quality suppository. So basically for this purpose, for all these color, shape, and for the surface characteristics, you can observe suppository as an intact unit, as a whole unit, or for more confirmation, you can also there is also provision that you are going to cut them or split them longitudinally. Means in the long sections you are going to cut your suppository into two portions and then analyzing both portion for the presence of or basically absence of these surface bad surface characteristics. So this slide is showing you various type of the suppositories that are being manufactured into different shapes, that is the round, oval, long oval, teardrop, and many more depending upon the type of suppository and the method that is being applied for the manufacturing. Uh, Various type of the shapes can be produced by the manufacturer. So for order, basically it's verification of order to prevent the confusion when similar type of the suppositories are being processed. So basically we are going to identify any product by the order as well, and we can distinguish two different products that are being manufactured and having the similar type of the shapes or similar type of the characteristics. So therefore it is important to check the order to that that is going to distinguish your product from the other product that is being manufactured at the same time. Plus this order is important characteristic. It says as a change in order may also be indicative of degradation process. It means if the order of your product is not okay, it means the product is degrading. Either some sort of microbial growth has appeared or some sort of chemical degradation has been occurred. So it's important to check the order of the product during manufacturing process for two purposes. One thing, that your product is different from the other products that are manufactured at the same time. Similarly, your product is not degrading, it's okay, it's of same quality as that was intended. So the next test we are going to discuss is the weight uniformity test. For this test, you are going to take 20 suppositories and you have to weigh them individually and note down their weight as W1, 2, 3, and up to 20. So after weighing all these suppositories individually, again you have to sum them, you have to add all these 20 weights to calculate the average weight by dividing with the number of the suppositories tested. Now the limit for this test, it says not more than two suppositories differ from the average weight by more than 5%, and no suppository differ from the average weight by more than 7.5%. It means that among 20 there are only two suppositories are allowed to differ from the uh, average weight uh, by more than 5%, and these two should not differ by more than 7.5%. Means that only, so you have the range is plus minus 5%. Okay, so among 20, 18 must be within this plus minus 5% range of the average weight, whereas those two supposedly that deviate from the plus minus 5%, that should be still within plus minus 7.5% of the average weight. So next test we have the liquefaction uh, test, which is also termed as the softening time test. For this purpose, we have the special apparatus that basically simulate the in vivo condition of rectum. So basically, it's more important for rectal suppositories. So the apparatus that is being used that have the similar condition that a suppository is going to face in the rectum. So basically, this apparatus consists of a dialysis membrane, which is a cellophane tube, which is tied to both ends of a condenser with each end of the tube. So in a condenser, basically the inner lining of the condenser is having a dialysis membrane, that is the cellophane, and that is tied with the both ends of the condenser, whereas the ends are open for insertion and the removal and the movement of the suppository within that condenser. So basically in that condenser we are going to circulate water at 37 degrees centigrade through that condenser at such rate that the lower half of the cellophane collapses and the upper half gaps. So these are the similar conditions that are simulating the movement of any suppository or any food material in the intestine or in the rectum. So basically, this procedure is showing you, okay, how this apparatus is going to simulate the condition, okay, when the optimum temperature of 37 degrees centigrade is applied through the water circulation. So the upper and the lower half of the cellophane or the dialysis membrane is going to simulate the uh, peristaltic movement in the rectum. So this slide is showing you the procedure for the liquefaction or the softening time test. So first step is it says कि when the water temperature is stabilized. So first of all we need to achieve the stabilized temperature of the 37 degrees centigrade for the water that is circulating in the condenser. So we have to achieve a stabilized temperature. So after achieving the stabilized temperature, the next step is that the suppository is dropped into it so that it sits in the middle of the tube. So you are going to place your sample into the apparatus so that due to the mimic or the simulating conditions of the rectum, it is going to sit in the middle of the tube due to the cellophane tube and with the help of the water pressure. So your sample is exactly being placed into the middle of the tube. So after it is placed into the required position in the middle of the tube, you are going to measure the time for the suppository to completely melt in the tube. So the after placing your sample, you have to wait and you have to calculate the time up to which your sample is going to be softened or liquefied or melted in the tube. So basically this liquefaction or the softening time varies between 5 to 45 minutes as per standard pharmacopoeias, whereas certain websites also provide the reference that mostly suppositories are softened or having the liquefaction time of 30 minutes, but the standard books provide a range between 5 to 45 minutes. So this slide is showing you the image of the liquefaction or softening time test apparatus, that is the condenser with a thermometer, and in the middle that is the you have the cellophane tube which is tied to the both ends, and but it is open in the both sections so that the suppository is inserted and that is present in the middle. This is the middle portion of the black uh, portion that is showing you the suppository available. Now how much time it is going to take to melt or soften is tested, while thermometer is going to check the temperature for maintaining the 37 degrees centigrade. So the next test we are going to discuss is the melting range test, which is also termed as macro melting range test. Another term that is being used is the micro melting range test. We will be discussing in the next slides. But this melting range test is termed as macro melting range test. So basically for this one we require, for macro we use entire suppository, and USP as well as BP disintegration apparatus is being applied for testing this the melting range test. Basically this test is also applied to check in vitro drug release pattern. So this is the additional The property or characteristic of this macro melting range test or simple melting range test that it also help to check the in vitro drug release pattern basically in the suppositories. So in this test, we say melting range test, and some of the references also say refer it as melting zone rather than melting point, with the reason that these suppository bases and the suppository itself are some sort of mixture, so they do not have any precise, any accurate a single melting point. So there is some sort of range within which we have to check them. Therefore, this test was designed as a melting range test. So in this melting range test or macro melting range test, basically we are going to measure the time that the entire suppository take to melt when immersed in a constant temperature, the water bath or any suitable apparatus. So basically, the effect of temperature over there in the softening or the liquefaction, we have to observe the temperature as well as little bit application of the pressure. So in this test only the temperature is being applied and we are going to check at how much time it is going to be melted within a certain range, that is the usually we are going to check between the 37 degrees centigrade. So we are how much time it is going to take when it is immersed in temperature in apparatus with the temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. So basically, say suppository is immersed in the constant water bath, and the time for the entire suppository to melt or disperse in the surrounding water is measured. So entire suppository is being again used, and how much it is going to take for the entire suppository to melt or disperse completely, disappeared, or having little bit flakes in the surrounding water is checked. In vitro drug release test, as we have discussed, that the apparatus that is used to determine melting range test or macro melting range test is also used to measure in vitro drug release pattern, or we can say the test. So same method is being applied in case it says if the volume of water is known, then by measuring the aliquots of water for drug content at various time intervals within the melting period. So during melting period, you are going to take aliquots are the sample of the water for analysis, for spectrophotometric analysis, or for the chromatographic method analysis. You are going to test the aliquots or the sample of water at the different time intervals within that melting period. So during that melting period, we are going to take the sample and evaluate the drug content that is released by the supposedly at different time intervals. So this will tell you okay, how much drug was released within a minute, within 5 minutes, within 10 minutes. So this will provide you a plot, a time versus drug content curve, which is going to tell the information about the release pattern, get how much time, how much drug was, how much active basically was released over the certain period of time. So this slide is roughly showing you okay, how we are going to perform the melting range test or micro melting range test basically. So through which we can also perform the in vitro drug release pattern in the suppository. So another melting range test, basically we have micro melting range test. That is basically again measured in the capillary tubes, as usual melting point is being checked in the capillary tube. So similarly, we are going to check the melting point, but basically melting range, as they don't have the sharp melting points. So in the capillary tubes rather than in any sort of the disintegration apparatus are somewhat like any other apparatus. So capillary tubes as a normal are being used for checking the micro melting range test, but basically this micro melting range test is applied only for fat base. Normally for fat base this test is applied, not for the other one. So usually for suppositories we are going to check macro melting range test for their uh, evaluation. So these are the references for today's lecture, including certain books as well as certain websites. Thank you.